Yo guys, and welcome back to another Planet Zoo video. So I've still not gotten around to building my first zoo yet, but I have been building some more props. Don't worry, not any dragons to dance this time. Instead, I figured I'd go with something probably equally as predictable, knowing me, but something I think would be quite iconic, and that is Pride Rock from The Lion King. And I'll tell you what, making this was quite a bit harder than I expected. I mean, you'd think that Pride Rock mainly consists of just, you know, the one major flat rock that lions actually walk on, and of course a pillar rock holding that up, and then the large, almost temple-like rock behind it that kind of overshadows the entire thing. You'd think, oh yeah, it'll just be like 3 spiky rocks, yeah, job done. No. It was actually quite a bit trickier than I thought, especially because I really wanted to be just like the actual what you see in the movie. I referenced it mainly on the original animated version, but I did of course take a little bit of inspiration from the recent, you know, quote-unquote live-action remake. And it comes complete with some complementary foliage. Everything is within a desert theme, so if you were to put this into like any desert enclosure, it should be perfectly fine, I believe. I'm still learning all that kind of stuff. And just as a little added bonus, because I had the opening here, I decided to introduce a little cave as well. Now, I guess technically in the second Lion King movie, you do see Simba and Kovu go into a little cave entrance around here. I kind of forgot about that until long after I was finished. So, I guess technically it's not entirely accurate. But to be honest, I think it's... oh, whoops. I think I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. I think it's pretty damn close enough. I do know that, in all the concept art and all the references, all the screenshots, etc, there's a ton of foliage all around the back, so I really tried to make it dense there. But I tried to make it not too dense, not too much. Hopefully, once again, it won't be much of an issue when added to enclosures. But I tried to like give a bit of a variety, a bit of different sizes. You can't do sizes. A bit of different angles. I did change the elevation on some of it, so it looked like bigger and smaller. Bit of like shrubbery all around the front here. Like I said, I just really tried to make it look cool, and like I said, I'm very happy with it. Now, of course, what is any creation of mine without showing you guys the process? So when it came to starting with this, the first thing I wanted to do was, like I mentioned earlier, the initial large flat rock that the lions themselves actually walk on. So this is a little bit backwards to my approach from the Rocky Rex, as with that one I started from the feet upwards, tried to make everything work upwards as I go along. But with this one, I wasn't really sure how to start from the base, because the base is very wide and just generally has a lot more information than I was really able to recognise. So I figured, alright then, let's play it safe. Let's go with the trademark rock itself, and then add the pillar underneath it next, and then I can build off from that. And I think in the end that was a very good idea, because what it also meant was I was able to try and capture a lot of the more minute details into the rocks. Which, I know, it sounds really strange. I mean, it's just a rock at the end of the day, there isn't really that much detail. But, you guys know what I'm like, I like to try and at least put some effort in. And when I was checking out the fan art, when I was checking out the concept art and just generally a lot of the Google image results, I was seeing like underneath the large main pillar or main flat rock that the lions walk on, there was a lot of plated layers of rock underneath it, so I tried to translate that into here, and I think it did a good job of just, you know, giving it a little bit extra dimension, a bit extra 3D and such. And then, like I said, worked on the pillar that keeps it upright afterwards, made the base around that a little bit thicker as well, just again, that way it looks like it's actually, you know, got some structural integrity that it can actually support the weight. It looks quite sturdy. The last thing I'd want to do is to make this look very flimsy, because it is a giant, you know, rock, almost monument to be honest, and it's very important it looks strong, it looks like it can hold its own weight. So when it came to the very large rock that comes out from the top or from the back, like I said, that part there is where things got quite a bit trickier than I expected. Now, in the end, I was able to save myself a lot of time and hassle by creating one large flat face and then just duplicating it onto either side. So we got like a bit of a half a box or like half a rectangular cube kind of thing going on. And it helped, although it also had a bit of an issue where each surface looked very samey, and that kind of flaw is very eye-catching. That's where like where things kind of feel very uncanny. So over the course of the model, I started adding in just more and more impurities, just random rocks on the surface of each side. That made it look distinctly different. as well as I was building up the base of it, like the general base and ground of it, I was able to then add in more and more layers on top of it, and generally, like, once again, just make it all look very different, and in particular make it look very strong. A bit of a personal touch I did actually add is on the key pillar, the, you know, again, the walking one, we call it the walking stone. On the key walking stone, one thing I did do there as well is towards the base where it meets the rest of the monument, I tried to add like a bit of a pathway on either side. I started with the left side very early, eventually added it to the right side as well, the cave side, and tried to like add in these just larger, broader flat paths. That way, I don't really know how the AI works in the game yet. Like I said, I'm still very much learning and I'm just having fun making things currently. At the end of the day, we play games to do like our own leisure and such, and this is what I find fun, so like I said, I still haven't quite learned the AI and such, but I'm kind of hoping that if the AI is able to, they can just walk up those ledges I've created for them, and the lions can then walk to the top of the walking rock, hopefully. I've yet to actually test it, but like I said, I hope it works. At the very least, you could probably place a lion on top of it, that might look cool. I'll try that later on, in fact. But after that, I mean, yeah, to be fair, after that, it's not really much more to say. It was just a case of building out the general foundations, just making everything big, trying to hide as many gaps as I could. Since, as I was approaching it, I was going to make it hollow because there really isn't much point in filling it out. I doubt there's like any collision issues and any risk of things getting trapped. At least I certainly hope not. So I made the entirety of the inside of the rock hollow, but then that's when I noticed eventually, oh, I had this really cool cave-looking hole. So I decided to keep that and adapt from it and turn it into an actual cave entrance. And as a result, I had created a flat floor. The floor does kind of taper downwards as it gets closer to the walking rock. So I guess I really, like, if anyone wanted to, they definitely could take this on themselves and create that frontal entrance, just like in a Lion King 2. They certainly could do that. I reckon that the internal flooring and the walking rock are probably about the same level. If not, it wouldn't be very hard to fix either. But the foundations are there for other people to work with. As for myself, it was just like a personal little touch I just wanted to add in. And then, yeah, to be fair, like I said, that's kind of the gist of it. The rest of that was just adding more and more various rock. Just trying to make things look a little bit random, trying to make things look more natural, add impurities here and there, make things not look too perfectly stacked or too perfectly linear. Again, I try to mess things up a little bit, make it look really, you know, again, just make it look natural. At one point, I did have to actually shrink the base a little bit because I kind of made some of the leveled rock kind of, or outcroppings, a bit too far away and it made the base really wide. So at one point I did kind of have to squash them all back in a bit, and I think it was a good idea in the end. And then, for the final touches, I added a whole assortment of various desert-themed plants. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everything I've used is exclusively the desert theme, so I really think that this will be suitable for desert habitats. Just like with the Rocky Rex and all my other props, this is available to download. You can find it in the video description down below. And hopefully it'll be a nice little addition to our lion habitats. We've seen the process, we've seen the finish, now it is time to return to the Goodwin house, the very first tutorial level, which of course includes its own little pack of lions, and to see how they fare with the structure. Now then, if I remember how to get there, I believe it's animals up from here, and where are the lions? There they are, Akila, Malawa, and Eliza. Akila, I'm pretty sure it's actually a wolf name in the Jungle Book, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Let's make our way. There we go, into the habitat. And this will be my first time actually. Let's see just how big our structure is compared to actual animals. I've actually not compared to the sizes at all. Let's go to my blueprints. Oh, it is quite large. It is definitely quite large. Right, in that case, let's go ahead then and let's just, oh, the poor little lions. Let's just remove all of that. All of that, it's only a temporary thing, we'll just check it out. Don't have to worry about, you know, their enrichment and such. At least for now, don't worry guys. Alright, we've got some space made. Let's put this back down. My god, it is pretty darn large, isn't it? In fact, I can't really find a suitable place to put it. I'll just dunk it here. Wait, no, there's a lion in the way. Stop, lion, move. Oh, no. I can dunk it right on top of them apparently. I don't really want to do that. Oh, there we go. Nailed it. Let's see this. What's our enrichment like then? A barrel cactus. That is... Oh, that's actually my bad. The water bushes is my bad. Oh, okay, so it's not actually that good for a lion. Right. I don't think it actually has that big of an issue. I can't remember. That just scared me. What's it doing to the... Oh, God. I'm sorry. I've never actually seen it do that before. That was an interesting thing to come up to. Right, so to be fair, though, all things given, I actually think that's a pretty darn good size. I mean, you think, right? Pride Rock is huge. It is really, really large. But it's large enough to fit, like, quite a few lions, you know, just kind of wandering around. Such as, again, in the second movie, you had that pathway. Oh, yeah, that pathway. Now remembering more and more. Typical. You had that pathway coming down all around here, where Kiara is met by the other lionesses, all that kind of stuff. I'm remembering far too much about this movie. It's my favourite movie, I'm sorry. Let's just see then. Alright then. Malawa, I'll just rename you to Simba. Simba. And my friend, I'm going to move you all the way up here. Will that let me do it? Oh, no. Delivery scheduled. Wait, do it now. Alright, so after a little bit of trial and error, I can't actually figure out how to get the lions on top of here. Which is such a shame, because I have seen other screenshots where people have done just that. They've had the lion sitting up there, so I'm wondering, maybe it was photoshopped, I don't know. Oh, that's actually quite disappointing. But on the plus side though, it does look pretty epic. Like, check out that as an angle. You gotta admit, even though they can't, at least as far as I can tell, they can't get on it, it does look pretty darn cool. And of course, I'd rather shelter out in there. Maybe you could actually turn, like, this cave here into a shelter. You know, if it weren't partially outside the enclosure. I don't know, maybe something we could play with in the future. When I learn a little bit more about the game and I become a little bit more experienced, perhaps we could fix that in the future. Or perhaps a more informed player could do it themselves. But either way, for the time being, it was a really fun build. And you know what, guys? That to me is what matters more. That and the fact that you guys can download this for your own zoos as well. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what other builds you'd like to see. And otherwise, until next time, have a wonderful day.